Hello friends, welcome to my channel Master the Monster. Equations. Do you think equations are pure mathematics? Then you're absolutely wrong. Equations are part of our daily life. We use equations in our daily life. We not only use them, we also need equations to solve many real life problems. Before learning equations in detail, subscribe to my channel so that you will enjoy learning maths. Class 10 CBSE Maths Chapter 3 Exercise 3.1 Problem number 1. Aftab tells his daughter, 7 years ago, I was 7 times as old as you were then. Also, 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Represent the situation algebraically and graphically. Okay, now I have already told you that equations are not just mathematics, they are a part of our daily life. Okay, and many real life situations needs the help of equations to find the solutions, right? One such problem is given now, that is Aftab and his daughter, and the problem is all about their ages, right? So now it's asked to convert this problem, that is represent this problem algebraically as well as graphically. So the first section will try to represent this algebraically. For that, now let's see what is the situation. The situation is all about the ages of a father and his daughter, isn't it? I can take that their present ages, that is the present age of the father be X years and the present age of girl be Y years. This will be my assumption. Alright? Okay, because the problem is about ages of daughter and her father, right? Okay, now what is the given? The first relation is about 7 years ago. Okay, so before 7 years, see, at present your age is 15, means before 7 years, how will you calculate? You will subtract 7, isn't it? So similarly, their present ages or x and y, then 7 years ago their ages will be x minus 7 and y minus 7. Okay, and the next relation is about 3 years from now. 3 years from now means after 3 years. So 3 years later, what will be their ages? So now your age is 15. After 3 years, you will just add 3 to it, isn't it? So similarly, the age of the daughter and the father will be y plus 3 and x plus 3. So 3 years later, their ages will be. So my assumption is their present age of father is x years and the present age of daughter is y years. So that I get 7 years ago their ages to be x minus 7 and y minus 7, and 3 years later their ages to be x plus 3 and y plus 3. So this is the demonstration of the problem. Now we'll see how to represent this problem algebraically first. Okay, now I have assumed that at present their ages be x years and y years, and therefore 7 years ago I get their ages to be x minus 7 and y minus 7. Now what is the first condition given in the question is that Aftab tells his daughter 7 years ago he was 7 times as old as his daughter, right? So 7 years ago, what's Aftab's age? It is x minus 7. 7 years ago, what's his daughter's age? It's y minus 7. And he says he is 7 times as old as his daughter. As her age is y minus 7, 7 times the age will be 7 into y minus 7. Therefore, the given condition, that is the first condition in the given problem, is that x minus 7 equal to 7 into y minus 7. So this is how I get the first relation. Now if I simplify this, I'm going to get my first equation representing the given situation. So now let me simplify. For that, I'm going to keep the left hand side as it is. I'll simplify the right hand side by multiplying with 7. So that I get 7y minus 49. Now let me collect all the variables to one side and constants to the other side. So when I bring 7y to the other side, I get minus 7y, and minus 7 to the other side, I get plus 7. So now x minus 7y can't be simplified. Let me simplify this. Therefore, I get x minus 7y equal to minus 42 is my first equation that represents the given situation. Do you understand this first? And the next condition given is about 3 years later. So 3 years later, I have their ages to be x plus 3 years and y plus 3 years. Now let's see what is the condition given in the problem. The second condition given in the problem is that 3 years from now, Aftab shall be 3 times as old as his daughter. So 3 years from now, their ages will be x plus 3 and y plus 3. And 3 times as old as his daughter means it is 3 into y plus 3. Therefore, the given condition is x plus 3 equal 3 into y plus 3. Right? Now let me simplify as before the right hand side. Therefore, I get 3y plus 9 in the right hand side. Now let me group the variables. Therefore, I get x minus 3y equal 9 minus 3. And that gives me x minus 3y equals 6. Now you see I have two equations both representing the same situation. So these are the pair of linear equations in two variables that represent the given situation. Therefore, I conclude this as the algebraic representation of the given problem. So the algebraic representation of the given problem is x minus 7y equal minus 42, x minus 3y equals 6. So this is how I represent the given problem algebraically. Now I am going to show you how to represent it graphically. For that, let's consider the algebraic representation. Using that only we are going to convert it to a graph. Okay. Now graphical representation, let me take the algebraic representation, that is the two equations that I have got. And I am going to find the points through which the graph of these equations pass. And I know obviously this is going to be a straight line because I very well know that equation in two variables like x and y is going to give me a straight line, isn't it? In order to draw this straight line, I need to find two coordinate points. Okay. For that, always you substitute x equals 0 and y equals 0. When you substitute x equals 0, you get the value of y, and when you get y equals 0, you get the value of x. So always you make this to substitute x equals 0 and y equals 0. In few cases where it is not convenient to substitute the value as 0, we can substitute some other values. Okay. So standard value, I'm going to take x equals 0, y equals 0. In few cases alone for convenience, I will take some other values. Okay, right? Okay, now we'll start with the first equation. So I'm going to find the coordinate points to draw this straight line. For that, first let me substitute x equals 0. Therefore, the equation becomes 0 minus 7y equal minus 42. That on simplification gives 7y equal to 42, which means y equal 42 by 7. That gives me y equals 6. So when I substitute x equals 0, I get y equals 6. Therefore, 0, 6 is my first coordinate point of the first straight line, right? Okay, now let me substitute y equals 0, but I told you to substitute x equals 0 and y equals 0, but here if I substitute y equals 0, I get directly x equal minus 42, so that I have to take a larger scale. If it is not a problem for you, then you take x equal y equals 0 and get x equal 42, but I am not convenient with it, so I'll take some x equals 7, because as I have here 7y, the y coefficient to be is 7. I'll take a number for x which is a multiple of 7, and the easy number is x equals 7. So when I take x equals 7, I get the equation to be 7 minus 7y equal minus 42. Take the constant term to the other side and then simplify. This minus 42 minus 7 gives me minus 49. Therefore, I say y equal minus 49 by minus 47. Sorry, minus 49 by minus 7, which in turn gives me y equals 7. So I have got the values to be when x equals 0, y equals 6, and when x equals 7, y equals 7. Right? So these are the tabulated values for the first equation. Now similarly, we'll find for the second equation. And now consider the second equation. Let me substitute x equals 0 first, so that I get 0 minus 3y equals 6. That gives me minus 3y equals 6, which on simplification gives y equal minus 2. So the first coordinate point is 0, minus 2. Next, let me substitute y equals 0, so that I get directly x equals 6. So now I have got the values to be x equals 0 gives me y equal minus 2, and y equals 0 gave me x equals 6. So with these values, let me plot the graph. Okay, now the equations are x minus 7y equal minus 42, x minus 3y equals 6, and the coordinate points are tabulated as this, like, right? Okay, now let me plot the first equation, that is x minus 7y equal minus 42. For that, let me consider the first coordinate point. The first coordinate point is when x equals 0, y equals 6. Therefore, the point is 0, 6. So, the first point of the first equation is 0, 6. And the next point is x equals 7, y equals 7. Therefore, it is 7, 7 here. Alright. Okay, now let me connect these 2 points. I get a straight line representing the equation x minus 7y equal minus 42. So this is the straight line representing the first equation. Now similarly, let me draw the second equation. The second equation, the first point is 0, minus 2. So it's 0, minus 2 here. And the next point is 6, 0. 6, 0 is going to be here. Now let me connect these 2 points. Then I get a straight line which represents x minus 3y equals 6. So that's all. This is the graphical representation. That is, these 2 straight lines together represent the given situation. Therefore, these 2 straight lines are the graphical representation of the given problem, and the 2 equations are the algebraic representation of the given problem. So this is how I have represented the given problem both algebraically and graphically. Here in the problem, it's not asked you to solve. So we haven't solved the equation. It is just asked to represent it algebraically and graphically, and that's all we did, right? Hope you all understand. Thank you.